Yo, people, and welcome back to another video. This is the Rugby World Cup Final review. New Zealand have lost to the Springboks 11-12, and the Springboks have won their fourth title. I'm a very happy man. Now I am filming this a few days after the all the dust has settled. But yeah, for me, I have to say New Zealand they played really well with 14 men. Um, and Wayne Barnes, I wouldn't say he had that much of an impact. It was more the Tim O and the bunker system. Um, and South Africa, we went on a burst, but defenses wins you World Cups, and that we did show. But all in all, I'm very happy with that we of course won. But I have to say, massive shouts out to um, All Blacks and how they did perform. It was a tough match. From a if you just if you're not a diehard rugby fan, just a casual, probably didn't enjoy the match that much. As it wasn't one of the matches that were like entertaining. But if you do follow rugby and you know everything, you're right into it, then it probably was for you. Um, and from from my perspective, it probably wasn't the best one, but for me, the second half was the best. It was attack against defense. Um, Probably not the best match this World Cup. You would probably say that was the New Zealand Ireland one or South Africa France game, but still up there. Defense against attack, um, end to end. New Zealand go throwing Hail Marys. Um, so yeah, but let's talk more about it. Of course, first I want to say, be up to France. You had a great tournament. Um, it was probably the fans, the stadiums, where every time it was sold out, and just a great experience, even from just watching it from afar and not being in France. It was a great to see so many French people go out to watch even the smaller games. For example, Tonga against Romania. I believe that game was sold out. Like it's a small game, you don't expect it to be sold out, but it was. And I think the cricket that's going on now can definitely learn from it because, um, but then again, it's time and it's in India, so stuff like that do to happen. So yeah, but let's get straight into it. Of course, it was a nail-biting finish in the final with the Springboks coming up victorious 11-12 and won their fourth World Cup, becoming the most successful rugby nation at Rugby World Cup. And you can debate if they are now the greatest rugby nation of all time. There's still debates around that. But yeah, let's get straight into it now. The match started off very cagey. Both teams looking to almost play territory, especially as South Africa with Damien Willems. Pretty exited the kicks well. Clearance kicks were pretty well done. Um, Now we saw South Africa on the attack, and then they lost the ball. And then New Zealand were in their own half, 10 meters inside thereof. Shannon Frizzell concedes the penalty and gets a yellow card for it. Now, what happened? Basically, he tried to clear Bongunambi, was on the ball. He tried to clear him. it does clear him, but he lands on the leg of Bongi, which does lead to Bongi not participating anymore in the match. Um, Now, World Rugby has told the refs to be more, to put pressure on that area of at the breakdowns, cleanups, and stuff like that. For me, it is a rugby incident, um, and it should only be a penalty. But it did happen. It is a yellow card. Um, but yeah, it's a tough one to take. And Andre Pollard puts South Africa 3-0 in front. But the bad news, although first out that come off, I would say that incident um, almost helped New Zealand more because our line out game was completely out because Bongi needed to come off and Dion Fourie came on. And even if you look at the stats, I think they they were they won like 18 lineouts or something mad stat, but we lost our lineouts completely. We lost that facet of the game, that set piece. So it almost handicapped us throughout the game, but it also did help us in the sense that we have another feature on the pitch to do steal the balls at the breakdown. So yeah, um, but as the game progresses, um, it seems like we're getting more of a foothold in the game than New Zealand, and New Zealand are making silly errors, knock-ons here and there, and Peter set the trap. And given it's a bit, he's putting in some hard hits, and Peter Sefton to you did get man of the match, made it around 28 tackles, which was a lot. So yeah, but that goes. New Zealand, I probably needed to keep it more, a bit more simpler and relax. And then close to the penalties, the ref got on the attack. New Zealand concede another penalty. I think it's one of the props. Might have been the Groot, even the Groot. Was not rolling away. Penalty close to the try line. And it's a correct decision. Fuff did milk it a bit, but it is what it is. So yeah, and then um, what else is there? Andre Pollard kicks it over. He makes it um, 6-0. And I, I would have liked us to go to touchline because I thought we did have the momentum. But going for the polls, they did say before kickoff, I think it was in the press conference or somewhere, that uh, um, um, that they will be going for most of the points when they are available. And as that ball is hit over, Frozell is back on the field of play, and sorry, not the Springboks, the All Blacks are getting more into the game, and they almost score for a Jordi Barrow chip kick, and luckily my heart was in my mouth. Um, the ball bounces right for Willem, so he catches it, and all this yeah was this close to catching it and just falling over to score. Um, Willem say rescues us there. Um, but uh, Mr. Wayne Barnes played a long advantage, which some people might say don't have to play such long advantage, but did. And I believe it was a penalty for not rolling away. I might have that wrong. If I do forgive me. But yeah, Richie Monga makes it 3-6. They go to the with penalty too. Again, it's an interesting one that they did go for the post because it did seem that they had South Africa on the back foot. But then again, our defense was doing really quickly. Um, and then a box kick by Faf, and we brought up a few phases, but then New Zealand conceded another penalty as just past the 15-meter line, and it's already Sevilla not releasing. Now, this one was a very controversial one because if you watch it with the sound on, you would have seen Wayne Barnes. You saw the replay on the big screen and said to Ardy, um, I didn't see the replay. I thought you didn't show enough daylight. Um, but we gotta continue. And it's a tough call, and many look at that decision. It's 3 points that cost them because Pollard did in the end make it 9-3. Um, but yeah, that definitely left many head scratching. Of course, Wayne Barnes. Um, how would that decision go down with New Zealand? So yeah, in the end, but it is what it is. Um, but I think it's one of those 50-50 calls. And referees are going to make mistakes. Some are going to have a bigger impact than others. Um, but we did see later on in the game they did have chances to make it to stop that 3 points being that big of a difference. So yeah, um, but we go back for kickoff, I think, and then in kickoff, I don't know if there happened much really after that. Uh, Mostert knocks the ball on in process after it was then over by South Africa. Okay, but then the TMO says to Mr. Wayne Barnes, there was a high shot um, on Jesse Creel. It was shoulder directly to the head. In my opinion, it is a straight red. And the ref did say yellow card. It did go to the bunker, and they upgraded it to red card. And he was the first player to get a red card in the final. Um, and I think it's a correct call. Like I said, there isn't much mitigation that we can talk about. So yeah, um, of course, Adi Sevilla was very surprised when the referee did call um, for that decision, that it was going to be upgraded with the to a red card, and even Mr. Ian Foster after the game he made a few claims that they should have a look at the way the TMOs are in the game and the bunker system. But for me, correct decision really. Um, but then as the game progresses, Pollard kicks the penalty out. We get a line out, and there's a few more phases and stuff that happen. Nothing really to talk about. And then again, a penalty for not releasing the ball on the ground. Penalty goes to South Africa. Pollard makes it 12-3, and New Zealand doesn't seem like they're in the game right now. Sam Kane is off their captain, so they don't know really what to do. Big hits are coming up in from the Tsoe, from Etzbeth, and from all the South African. And it seems like they're dominating them. But then New Zealand on the attack, and they almost go to score. Ioane, um, last man. He runs across the field, inside our 22, and he runs and he almost scores, but Kirtley answer with a great tackle. And also Colby also helps him. But yeah, a try-saving tackle from Kirtley Arons and Cheslin Colby. Make sure you only knocks on the ball that does go into touch. But there was again advantage play. Unsure what the penalty offense was, but Richie Mulga does make it 12-6. That leads us into half time. And now the first half starts, and I think New Zealand fans were like, okay, first half, not the best. Second half, if we can get the first points, let's do it. But then Siakolisi is on his way to the try line. He did have Jesse Crayon on his outside. Wanted to go all the way, didn't, and we lose the ball, unfortunately. And then that leads to Siakolisi making a high shot on, I believe, it was Sevilla. Now, the tackle was made, impact onto the body, onto the shoulder, and then it moves up to the head, and it was contact with the shoulder. Again, I think this is the correct decision. Yellow card deserved. Um, and I think many people will say, "Oh, well, why was Kane's one a yellow? Sorry, red, but this one not." But can clearly see, it wasn't. It was different. So yeah, but not right for me. Let me know what you do think. But a few minutes later, New Zealand do go score through Aaron Smith, but I think everyone saw it. They did a linus, and then of course Aaron Smith scored. But as I think it was, I want to say Barrett coming down. There was a knock on in the process when they tried to do the more. Um, Referee didn't see it. It played on. New Zealand went on to score. I think New Zealand fans were like, "Oh, didn't see that," and then they scored. They celebrated, but that Seymour did call him back for that. Um, but they didn't blow for that. They said he knocked on the ball. Sorry, it's a bit that claim in the air, which made him knock the ball on. So penalty for that. They go to the post again. Um, so yeah, and then they do score, and it's Bowden Barrett. Who else? There was controversy of a forward or knock on that went forward, but it's a 50-51. However you interpret their laws. For me, probably not. The ball went straight to ground, then it's up forward. So no, Barrett played it, he did score. And that's probably around, say, 65th, 64th minute that they do go to score. But Richie Mo'unga to take the lead for New Zealand, to make it 13-12, misses the conversion. We've seen such conversions miss this tournament, but also scored for the Crusaders in the Super Rugby. Um, but it's a miss. Now it's 50-50. South Africa are defending for their lives. New Zealand just keep on hammering South Africa, having a go at these weird drop goals from 50 meters, but then again, it could be a thing of we just want to pin them back. Because every time they miss, you've got to start from your own try line again. So yeah, but New Zealand, they attack South Africa making some great tackles, and not just anything. They're pushing them back with it. Um, but then there is space on the outside for New Zealand, and they probably would have scored, but Colby, deliberate knock on. Is it deliberate knock on with the rules today? 72nd minute, Colby goes off for a yellow card, and for the rest of that 8 minutes, he's on the in the stand, but he can't watch. Most South Africans can't watch, um, and I'm stressing. I'm feeling Jordy's having a shot at goal, of course. He's put many over, such cakes over for the Hurricanes. He has the distance. I'm thinking, oh, please, no, Jordy. And he misses it, and I'm going ballistic at this point because yes. 6 minutes left. We should be able to do it. Um, he misses it. That's 5 points missed from New Zealand. Um, and a few times I did go in the first half that I did not mention. Really, because it wasn't that big. Did lose lineouts in now 22. But yeah, it was the correct decision that one for Colby. But yeah, Geordie Barrett misses. And we do go on to when yeah, great defense, of course, that last scrum. 50-50. If the ref probably should have blown his whistle, Mr. Wayne Barnes. But the ball did go out, so yeah. But I haven't seen many new people talk about that one. But from my perspective, that probably was a controversial one. Let me know what you guys think. Um, so yeah, but Seraph go on to win 12-11. The scenes, how the players celebrate, just fantastic. And the scenes now where they're doing the trophy tour is just amazing. Um, so yeah, but I have to say, great game in the second half of first half, probably not so much. New Zealand, they will probably root their chances. I think Jory Barrett will carry that kick for a long time with them. Richie Mo'unga, because he won't be playing now as the for the All Blacks, as they do have this rule. He has to play New Zealand to play for the All Blacks, and he's going to go for a stint in Japan, same as Rizal. But he will also rule that chance to make it 13-12. So yeah, but I think they definitely will rule their chances, and for me, that's red card didn't cost New Zealand the game. I think it was more the missed chances and sloppy play in the early part of the game where they made a few knock-ons, and even towards in the second half, early parts of the second half. So yeah, um, but there were many storylines, and I think we need to talk about them in a South African camp. Krill and Trevor Khan, of course, got injured in the start of the last tournament, and now they both played in the final. Arke Snyman coming back from a big injury. Um, to be even fit for this World Cup was a miracle. And then John Klein, who played 4 years ago for Ireland in the Rugby World Cup, now wants it with South Africa. Sia becoming the second captain to go back to back, equaling Richie McCaw's record. Pollard not being in the squad originally, and then being the Euro that carried us through to through through all three of the quarter final knockout games. He really carried us really. Um, but yeah, that's just some of the storylines. Again, there's a few more. Damien Phillips winning his second World Cup. He wasn't much involved, but I believe he was caught up for Creel. I might be wrong, but yeah, he got caught up. It wasn't much part of that one. So this one means a lot. Kane and Moody winning um, his first World Cup when he's 20 years old. So he might play 4 World Cups. If you look at 20, 24, 28, 23, sorry, 32. So if he can play so 32, he could be playing for World Cup finals, depending how. how everything will works out. But yeah, respect to New Zealand. I think us as South Africans, we have massive respect to New Zealand, and every time we beat New Zealand, it does feel for us like it almost feels for it's a big thing for us. Cause New Zealand have beat they are the team that have beaten us the most. So massive respect to them. As a South African, I have huge respect for them. Um, and yeah, that's that. That's really. I will release another video. If you're watching this and you haven't catched, and you're wondering if I will do a whole tournament review, yes, I will do that. Um, so yeah, but Uh, this will probably be also released today if you're watching this on Friday, the Fed. So yeah, but we'll wrap it up here. Do smash a like on this video, subscribe to the channel, and click that bell for notifications. Would be much appreciated. And if you want to know where to follow me, there in the ticket says down below Instagram, Hanu underscore coach underscore corner, Twitter under 70830030, and then TikTok coach corner one. The links are in the description if you want direct links to it. So yeah, do watch, smash like and subscribe, and we'll see you all in a bit.